Hey guys, Paul here. Today we're going to talk about over-the-counter painkillers and the dangers associated with them. Most gym bros have no fucking clue. You're taking that acetaminophen, more commonly known as Tylenol. You're going to cause problems, or you can, or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. The most common one I see used is ibuprofen, generically, or I'm sorry, the name brand is known as Advil. These things can cause kidney problems. We're going to talk about that today, guys. Before we do so, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's the best way you can show your appreciation for all this awesome content I'm putting out for free. If you want to get in contact with me, my contact information is below in the video description. I am at Paul K. Barnett on Instagram. You can also email me at bigp3rd@gmail.com. If you have a question, comment, or just want to argue with me and tell me how wrong I am about this, you can do so in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond to each and every one. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at acetaminophen, Tylenol. Everybody likes to pound Tylenol after they have a fucking hangover. And I know a lot of gym bros that use oral steroids, then they go out and drink on the weekend, and then they use Tylenol to deal with the hangover the next morning. And they do not know that Tylenol is liver toxic. And you compound that with other liver toxic PEDs, and you end up in acute liver failure. I've seen it happen before. I had a friend that it happened to. Dude almost died. Spent 2 weeks in the hospital in the ICU. It's a real fucking thing. So let's look at some statistics here. The Poison Control Centers reported that there are annually 56,000 emergency room visits, 2,600 hospitalizations, and an estimated 450 deaths due from acute liver failure from acetaminophen use. Now, the liver's pretty resilient. If you get yourself to the hospital fast enough, a lot of times they can pull you out of liver failure. But for fuck's sakes, why take that risk? Be careful with this shit, guys. People take drugs and don't inform themselves on what these drugs do. It just blows my mind that you have no idea. Even if it's over the counter, you're rolling the dice when you have no idea what you're taking, what you're putting in your body. At least be informed if you're going to do stupid shit, okay? If you're informed and you choose to do stupid shit anyway, rock on. It's your call. But be careful with the acetaminophen use. So you think that's bad? Ibuprofen, NSAIDs are even fucking worse. Each year, the side effects of long-term NSAID use cause nearly 103,000 hospitalizations and 16,500 deaths. Holy fuck nuggets. You'd think this would be all over the news. People would be marching in the streets to have this shit taken off the market. That is incredible. And most of these deaths are from kidney failure. NSAIDs are, in long-term use are toxic to the kidneys. You can get away with them for a short amount of time. And then you compound that with, you got dudes taking already kidney toxic compounds with their PED use, things like Tren, blowing their blood pressure up through the roof, which puts additional stress on their kidneys. And then they use an NSAID to deal with they pop in the Advil to deal with the inflammation, and you have a recipe for kidney failure. And so there was a thing that a few years ago I remember reading an article about how there was an unusual amount of ex-NFL players that were having kidney failure. Guys, it was hitting them in their 40s, and they initially couldn't figure out why, and through some research, they figured out that it was from the abuse of prescription strength ibuprofen that they were giving these guys to deal with aches and pains and inflammation from playing football. And, it was mostly the big dudes. It was mostly linemen that were dying, which guys that probably have high blood pressure. They're probably using PEDs. And down the line, when they're 40 years old, they end up dying of fucking kidney failure. Tom Prince, who recently passed away, he didn't die from, it wasn't related to kidney failure. At least I don't think so. I think he died from cancer. But he used to be constantly, back in the day, on the message boards preaching about the dangers of NSAIDs. He had himself had dealt with kidney failure, which he attributed partially or wholly to the use of NSAIDs. I know he struggled with some autoimmune disorders too that probably contributed, but he was constantly on the message boards warning guys about using NSAIDs. Most dudes have no clue that these things are kidney toxic. And I know guys that take them every fucking day, 365 days a year to deal with pain. Bad idea. Bad idea. You're going to end up having a kidney transplant when you're 40 years old. Don't put yourself at risk. All right, guys, that's all I got on this one. Be careful with this shit. Know what you're doing. Know what you're getting into. Be informed as always. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up below.